running is a big piece of my recovery. It's not something I depend on for my recovery from alcohol and drug abuse. Running can't be the answer to my recovery because I'm gonna get injured. When you find the body's limits is where the misery piece is, and usually that quite often that can be weather related, because I mean you can, when the weather says you're gonna stop now. I mean, I can think of races where I say miles 30 through 70 were really painful, but you just keep pushing through them. There are physical dangers out there, of course, but usually what you see is just mental basket cases. And again, maybe that comes from sleep deprivation, the wanting to stop but keep working through it, you know, that kind of thing. I know some people who like break their arms and keep running, or sprain their wrists and keep running, that kind of thing. Get it looked at afterwards. Usually what stops people, it's all up here, it's their heads, it seems. You just see mental basket cases. It's interesting because people seem to like the longer stuff the older they get. You don't see a lot of 65-year-olds running hundreds, but you do see 50 to 55 sometimes winning hundreds. If you're talking about age, let's talk about gender too. You also see a lot of closing that gender gap that like you might see in a marathon where men generally finish ahead of women. In 100, I know some women who do what we call chicking a race, meaning they win the race outright. I think that has to do with childbirth and the ability to bear pain, you know what I mean, over long periods of time. Women tend to do better the longer they go, as far as being compared to men. When you're finished, immediately after a finish, you feel like you're in a bubble. Probably has to do with the sleep deprivation piece. It feels weird talking to people and so on, you know. It's kind of like when you've been tripping acid and you're coming down or something like that, you know. It's like you're not sure really if that other person is gonna melt or not, or if you're just on such a different wavelength than other people.